Hey folks, imagine this. You're a hardworking Roman citizen, busting your butt in the fields or the forums, saving every last coin for your family's future. Then bam, one morning, that shiny silver denarius in your pouch buys a squat. Prices skyrocket overnight, your savings evaporate like dew in the desert sun, and the empire you've sworn allegiance to starts crumbling from the inside out. We all think the Roman Empire fell because of barbarian hordes storming the gates or decadent emperors throwing wild parties. But what if I told you the real killer was something sneakier, something we deal with everyday money? Yeah, the green stuff, the dough, the bucks that make the world go round. The Romans didn't just invent roads and aqueducts, they engineered the world's first truly global money system. And then, in a twist that'll make your head spin, they torched it in a single, catastrophic blunder. Stick around, because we're diving deep into how they built this financial powerhouse, how it all went to hell in a handbasket, and why it feels eerily familiar today. By the end, you might just question if we're heading down the same rocky road. Alright, let's set the stage here, because you can't appreciate the epic fail without knowing where it all started. Picture the ancient world before Rome got its act together. It's a total mess. We're talking 8th century BC. Folks trading goats for grain, shells for swords, no standard way to measure value. Sure, the Greeks and Phoenicians had dabbled in coins, little stamped metal discs that said, hey, this is worth something. But Rome, they were late to the party, still using bulky bronze bars called E's, rude, basically glorified lumps of metal you'd weigh out for every deal. It was clunky, inefficient, like trying to pay for your morning coffee with a sack of potatoes. Enter the Roman Republic around 300 BC. These guys were scrappy underdogs, fresh off kicking out their kings and building a senate that actually kinda worked. Key figures like the early consuls and generals saw the writing on the wall: to conquer neighbors and build an empire, you needed reliable money. No more haggling over weights. Boom. They introduced the as a bronze coin, and later the denarius in 211 BC during the Second Punic War against Hannibal. That silver beauty was pure genius, about 4.5 grams of nearly pure silver, stamped with Roma's head on one side and the Dioscuri on the other. It wasn't just currency, it was propaganda, screaming Rome rules. But here's the teaser that'll keep you hooked. This system didn't stay pure. What started as a rock-solid foundation for global trade would get chipped away by emperors playing fast and loose. We're talking debasement, sneaking cheaper metals into coins to stretch the budget. It worked for a while, fueled conquests from Britain to Egypt, but it planted seeds of destruction that would explode centuries later. Hang tight. The twists are coming, and they're gonna hit like a gladiator's swing. Let's break this down chronologically. Cause and effect. Like a chain reaction you can't stop once it starts. The origins. Rooted in war and ambition, naturally. Rome's early money system was born out of necessity during those brutal Punic Wars. Hannibal's elephants were trampling Italian soil, and Rome needed cash quick to fund legions. So, they mint the denarius, named after dinar, meaning 10, since it equaled 10 asses. Bronze coins, pure silver folks, 95 to 98% at the start. This wasn't some half-baked idea, it was engineered precision. The Romans set up mints in Rome and conquered territories, standardizing weights and measures, cause reliable money. Effect: soldiers get paid on time, merchants trust the value, trade booms across the Mediterranean. Key player here, Lucius Cornelius Sulla in the late 80s BC, who reformed the system during his dictatorship. He cranked up production, ensuring coins flowed to the troops. But the real mastermind comes later: Julius Caesar. This guy, with his conquests in Gaul, floods Rome with gold and silver from spoils. He introduces the aureus, a gold coin worth 25 denarii, pure as the driven snow, cause massive influx of precious metals. Effect: economic stability that lets Rome transition from republic to empire without skipping a beat. By the time Augustus takes the throne in 27 BC, he's got this dialed in. He overhauls the whole shebang: aureus at 1/40th of a Roman pound of gold, denarius at 1/84th pound of silver, plus brass and copper coins for small change. It's the first global money system accepted from Hadrian's Wall to the Euphrates, facilitating trade in silk, spices, wine, you name it. But wait, don't get too comfy. Even in these golden origins, there's a whisper of trouble. Augustus had to deal with counterfeiters and fluctuating metal supplies. He centralized minting to crack down, but it foreshadowed bigger issues. What happens when conquest's slow and you can't loot new silver mines? Spoiler, you start cutting corners. That's the setup for the rise, where this system turns Rome into an economic juggernaut. Fast forward to the Pax Romana, that 200-year golden age starting under Augustus, the money system. It's firing on all cylinders, baby, because stable, trustworthy currency, effect, explosive growth. Trade routes like the Silk Road pump goods in and out, with denarii greasing the wheels. Merchants in Alexandria haggle with the same coins as traders in Londinium, the empire's GDP. Estimates put it at around 20 to 30 billion sesterces annually, that's like trillions in today's bucks adjusted for scale. Key figures shine here. Emperors like Trajan and Hadrian, who expanded the empire to its peak. Trajan conquers Dacia in 106 AD, hauling back mountains of gold and silver. Effect: more minting, more coins in circulation without dilution. The denarius holds steady at 93% silver. Soldiers earn 225 denarii a year, enough for a decent life. Farmers pay taxes in coin, not kind, stabilizing the treasury. It's a virtuous cycle. Sound money builds trust. Trust fuels investment. Investment grows the economy. But here's where curiosity kicks in. Why didn't this last? We're teasing the twist. The system was too good, tempting leaders to abuse it. As wars got pricier and emperors more extravagant, the pressure built. Nero, that fire-loving nutjob, steps in around 64 AD. After the Great Fire of Rome torches the city, he's got to rebuild fancy palaces and all. Cause: massive spending needs. Effect: first major debasement. He drops the denarius silver content to 94%, then fiddles with the weight. It's subtle at first, no overnight crash, but it sets a precedent. Future emperors think, hey, if Nero got away with it, ... double quotes. The rise peaks under the Antonines like Marcus Aurelius, but even he debases a tad to fund Marcomannic wars. By 193 AD, Septimius Severus cranks it up, dropping silver to 78%, cause civil wars after Commodus's death. Effect: short-term cash infusion, but long-term erosion of value. The empire's still humming, roads built, aqueducts flowing, but the cracks are forming. Viewers, you're probably wondering, how bad could it get? Hold your horses. The breaking point is next, and it's a doozy. Okay, buckle up, this is where it all hits the fan. By the early 3rd century, Rome's in the crisis of the 3rd century, a total cluster of assassinations, invasions, and plagues. Emperors come and go faster than you can say ET2, brute key villain. The debasement spiral. It starts slow but accelerates like a runaway chariot. Take Severus Alexander in the 220s AD, he drops silver to 50%. Cause: Persian Wars draining the coffers. Effect: prices start creeping up. Then, the big one, under Decius and later Gallienus in the 260s, silver plummets to 5%, then 0.5% by 270 AD. They're basically coating bronze with a silver wash, fake it till you make it, right? But the market ain't dumb. Data that'll shock you: a modius of wheat about 8 kilograms cost 0.5 denarii in the 1st century. By 301 AD, 200 denarii. That's a 40,000% jump in some estimates. Soldiers demand pay hikes from 225 denarii to thousands. Merchants hoard goods, barter returns. The breaking point, arguably under Valerian in 259 AD, captured by Persians, humiliating Rome and forcing even more printing. But the overnight feel comes in the 270s under Aurelian coins, so debased they're worthless. Trade grinds to a halt. It's not literal overnight, but to the average Joe, it felt that way. One year your savings buy bread, next they're confetti. Why delayed answers? Because the cause-effect chain is sneaky. Debasement masks problems short-term but compounds them. Emperors thought they were clever, stretching metal supplies from exhausted Spanish mines, but effect: loss of confidence. Foreign traders demand gold, not junk, silver. The system's global reach backfires. Debased coins flood provinces, sparking revolts. Man, the fallout was brutal. A total train wreck, caused rampant inflation and debased money. Effect: economic meltdown. By the late 3rd century, the empire splits Gallic and Palmyrene ways. Barbarians smell weakness, invading left and right. Key figure: the average Roman suffers most. Taxes skyrocket to fund fixes, but in worthless coin farmers abandon land. Cities depopulate. Plague of Cyprian in 250 AD worsens it, killing labor force. Socially, trust evaporates. Hoarding black markets thrive. The rich switch to gold bars. Poor starve. Military soldiers mutiny for real pay, assassinating emperors over 20 and 50 years. The Western Empire limps on, but the monetary rot contributes to the sack of Rome in 410 AD. Historians argue it wasn't the sole cause. Plagues overextension, but debasement amplified everything. Effect: the first global money system implodes, dragging the empire down. They tried to patch it. Oh boy, did they try. Aurelian in 271 AD introduces the Antoninianus, a better coin with 5% silver cores. Restore faith. Effect fails miserably. Inflation rages on. Diocletian in 301 AD, big swing with edict on maximum prices, capping everything from boots to beef. Cause combat greed. Effect black markets. Boom. Enforcement impossible. More unrest. He also reforms currency, minting better denarii, but too little too late. Constantine in 312 AD nails it somewhat with the solidus, a pure gold coin that lasts centuries in Byzantium. Cause shift to gold standard. Effect stabilizes the East, but the West doomed. These fixes highlight the twist. Once you debase, rebuilding trust is a Herculean task. Emperors learned the hard way: you can't print your way out of debt without consequences. Now, the mind blower. This ain't ancient history. It's a mirror to today. The Romans engineered global money, lost it through debasements. Sound familiar? Take the US dollar. We ditched the gold standard in 1971 under Nixon cause Vietnam War costs. Like Rome's endless campaigns, effect inflation spikes to 13.5% in 1980. Shocking data. Since 1913, the dollar's lost 96% of its purchasing power. A 1913 buck buys 3 cents today. Parallels. US debt at $35 trillion, cowing Rome's military bloat. Ours is $800 billion annually, half the discretionary budget. Money printing post-2008 and COVID. Quantitative easing debased the currency supply. M2 money up 40% in 2020 alone. Inflation hit 9.1% in 2022, highest in 40 years. Repeating patterns. Governments overspend, print money, erode value. Weimar Germany in 1923 printed marks to pay war debts. Wheelbarrows of cash for bread, like Roman wheat prices. Crypto twist. Bitcoin is modern solidus. Fixed supply fights debasement, but fiat's still king. Will we learn or repeat Rome's fall? Alright, 3 clear takeaways from this wild ride. Sound money is the bedrock of empires. Build it right, and you conquer the world. Screw it up with debasement and it's game over. Short-term fixes like printing cash lead to long-term disasters. Cause effect shows inflation erodes trust, sparking chaos. History's patterns repeat if ignored. Rome's global system collapsed. Ours could too if we keep kicking the debt can down the road. Warning: with US debt ballooning and inflation lurking, are we the next Rome, or can we pivot? Food for thought leaves you wondering, right? If this hooked you, smash that like button. Subscribe for more historical twists on finance and empires, and drop a comment. What's your take on modern money woes? Hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.